ladies of fantasy at the Luxor, and it's time to go
Behind the Book.
Woo!
Welcome to the big game edition of the Behind the Book online sports show. I'm Gil Alexander, host of the Beating the Book podcast. Coming up on the show today, all about the big game, props as well. And as always, the star of the show, the VP of Race and Sports at MGM Resorts International, my man Jay Rude.
What's up, Gil?
Dude, for real? What are you doing?
I'm hanging out with the girls from Fantasy.
Oh, just that's what you do?
Yeah, you know, I mean,
It's normal.
Getting some insight. They're trying to help me figure out how to book this game this weekend. Since my season's been a little rocky.
So that's what you've resorted to that now?
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or, colors or names.
Right.
You know, kind of like the way I pick horses, too.
Let me ask you a question. Are you planning on doing the whole show from over there with the ladies? Is that your story?
If I could, I would, but I think you need my help over there because you can't carry the show by yourself.
Dude, please, take your seat, if you would. I have to, a little bone to pick with you.
Thank you, ladies.
These last couple weeks, your ego, I'm just going to throw this out there, it's growing with this.
You introduced me as the star of the show, and I mean, I'm just trying to perform the way you want me to perform. Anyways.
Glad to have
continue.
you back. Breaking news, there is an actual game.
Yes.
We think about the props so often that we forget that this is the big game. New England and Atlanta. New England favored by 3J, the highest total in big game history at 59. What's the action been like on the sides for the first 10 days now? We've got a few days before game time.
The action's been on the side at -3, been really even. A little bit of a lean towards the Patriots just because, the people that have been betting the Patriots have gotten to the cashier window. So no reason for them to not bet the Patriots in this spot, I don't think. I think if you're not a Patriots fan or you haven't been a Patriots investor over the last 4 or 5 weeks, there's probably a large population out there that might look to take the points with Atlanta and the hot offense. So we're getting good two-way action, but like you said, the total, 59. There was 57 and a halves out there and 58s, and I know who I booked to.
Yep.
So I said, we got to put this up a little bit higher, and I put it 59. Bam, first bet we get is over
Still
59.
over.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, when you're fishing for under money,
Yeah.
you put the highest total out there and you still get a bet the other way.
Doesn't surprise me after the Falcons-Packers conference championship game, which was the second highest total in NFL playoff history, at 61, I believe it was, or 60 and a half, something like that. Still went over. It looked like it was an under the whole game. Still went over, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, you like revisiting the past a lot and bringing up like stuff. I mean, we've lost all that, and that's what basically the last few weeks have been about is totals. And I've said that a lot to a lot of people is people aren't afraid to play the totals heavy now. Back in the day, a lot of people would, you put $100 on the game and you put $20 on the total. It's the other way around a lot of times now. People are more sure about betting the total than they are about the side, and that might be the particular case in this game. I think a lot of people are going to be involved on the total in this game, and that might be where our biggest decision is on this game, whether it goes over or it stays under.
About the side, do you expect it to come off the 3?
It's still a little early. We're splitting the money, like I said. If we come off the 3, it's going to be 3.5. Because I don't see it going to 2.5 because you're going to get nothing but Patriot money at that point. I think you're going to get wise guy money involved at that point. I don't think we will. I mean, depending on where you are in your future book, and if you look good to one of the teams in particular, you might budge one way or the other. But right now, I see no reason to come off the 3. The only reason to come off the 3 is so that you avoid the push. But with 59 points possibly being scored, the likeliness that this comes down to a field goal is less and less as you increase the total. So we'll see how it goes.
Let me ask you this, one more question about the action. Super Bowls over the last 20 to 25 years in Vegas, there's a different betting behavior than on a typical Sunday game, on a typical Sunday week in the NFL, and that is to say that when casual bettors, when public bettors come and bet the Super Bowl and they want to take the underdog, rather than taking the +3 in this case, they are much more likely to play the money line. They want extra bang for their buck. That's been the case over the last couple decades or more. Are you seeing that again this big game? And as a result, if that's the case, the money line value then shifts to the favorite, does it not?
It does, and historically that's the way this game has been bet in the past. But oddly enough, we've taken more money on the favorite money line right now than we have on the dog. And the favorite price right now is right in line with what a 3-point favorite should be, minus $1.50, minus $1.60 maybe, is what, you probably should be paying at a 3-point favorite. But generally, that's the case. They wanted that extra pop, on the underdog, because the casual bettor is betting for the win. And I always, I tell a lot of people that, in the NFL, and even, any sport where there's a spread, unless the spread is like ridiculously high, bet the team that you think is going to win.
Yes.
And let the spread take care of itself.
Well, funny you mention that. There have been 50 big games, obviously, thus far. In 44 of them, Jay, the spread did not matter. That is to say that the favorite covered or the underdog won outright. So only 6 times in big game history has a favorite won but not covered. You'd love that scenario this week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's the scenario most everyone's going to be looking for. But yeah, 44 times, I know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, of course.
Every now and then.
I just wanted to back
I
it up with
stumble across
numbers.
something. Fun facts with Gil, I know there's always going to be some of that in there. But yeah, a lot of people put too much emphasis into trying to figure out the spread. Pick who you think's going to win and let it fall where it falls.
Well, it'll be interesting. We'll see if the Patriots, who traditionally love to take away the opposition's biggest weapon, in this case, obviously, Bill Belichick will try to take away Julio Jones. I don't know if he does that by putting Malcolm Butler directly on him or shifting Malcolm Butler to the number 2 wideout and then doubling Julio. We'll see. But you would figure that how that develops will go a long way towards determining who the winner of this game is, let alone who covers the spread. We'll get to our picks coming up.
Funny you mentioned Julio Jones. He's one of the top guys in first player to score the first touchdown.
Yeah.
He's gaining a lot of tickets written to him. A lot of people thinking that he's going to be the guy that does it. At 6-1, a pretty good value. We're going to be coming down on that because we're accumulating so much risk to him. One of the more popular bets too that we offer is player to score the first touchdown.
Yeah.
Because it's, in this game, it really could be instantaneously the way that, the points are expected. But, we'll see how that goes.
Here's what I would like to do for bettors. What is the prop, traditional game day prop for the big game, that is the one that trips up bettors year after year in your experience?
Well, there's a lot of them that they kind of can't look at the line and quite understand why it's set that way. It sort of looks opposite to them. There's one that you always mention about the 3 unanswered scores.
Yes.
That historically the yes on that is really a strong price.
Like minus 170.
Right.
But the average bettor looks at the dog and they're like, 3 times in a row, that's never going to happen in Super Bowl, and they love the plus money, but it happens all the time.
Happens all the time, and during the regular season is that as well. But everybody likes to bet those kind of what I call goofy carnival props. Will the game go into overtime? Will there be a safety? And we've been beaten up like a piñata over the last 4 or 5 years on all those props.
The goofies have been killing them.
Yeah, the Seattle game and the Denver game, every single goofy prop that the public loves to take the plus money on cashed, except for will the game go into overtime. That's the only prop that basically we can hang our hat on that says that hasn't hit yet. So long overdue, and now that I'm pointing it out, it'll probably happen this go around.
I was going to say, a lot of people might feel like this game might head to overtime. What's the yes price on overtime?
Plus $6, I believe, right now.
Plus $6?
Yeah, 6-1.
On yes to overtime, okay. A little down from 7-1 or 8-1.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
We draw a little money early on from the sharps, and that number might float up a little bit as we approach, just so we can have a cushion on that side. So we're not the only one taking all the risk. I involve a few other people with me.
How many props in all do you have at MGM Properties?
Well, we have, I think, 12 pages. We have probably 250 betting selections on all that, so, quite a bit. And every single prop that we have on our packet is available on our mobile app as well. So, you don't have to have a fistful of tickets that you're trying to keep track of. It's all right there in your betting history, and away you go, and you can bet next year's Super Bowl in your phone and not have to worry about mailing a ticket in.
As we mentioned last week, the line's ridiculous for the big game, so of course, really get an account at the MGM app. And again, Jay, I will tell you that all the pro bettors that I know in Vegas love the MGM app better than anyone else. I'm not just saying that. They love it.
That's great news to hear. Hopefully, it continues to be that way. We keep developing and adding to it, trying to make it as better friendly as we possibly can. And
of course, up and down the strip, all kinds of parties for the big game. We talked about this last week. Throughout the MGM Resorts International array of sports books, big game parties. We talked about the MGM Grand last week.
Yeah, great
Here at the
spot to go.
Mirage, same thing. So just come down and have a great weekend here in Vegas. Bet with the app, go to the parties, enjoy the game, maybe even win a little money.
Win a little money. Probably going to win a little money. You better get down here to any MGM Resorts destination and be part of this a historic Players Year. I mean, there's still plenty of time to get here and put your bet in for the Super Bowl because we've been hemorrhaging cash like crazy, and hopefully we got one more week to get through. But you know, the players have been cashing left and right, and you know, hopefully we can scratch out a little bit for us this week and not get destroyed. But I wouldn't be surprised. It's been such an unbelievable Players Year. It's been uncharted territory, that's for sure.
Speaking of which, Jay, I am told that a certain performer at the Luxor has a message for you along those lines.
The girls that were just here?
Not exactly. Guys, can you roll the tape?
Hey, Jay, my prediction is, well, of course, the Patriots. I'm Tom Brady. I wish I was Tom Brady. Although when I wear Uggs, I swear to God, people always look at me like, dude, you're Tom Brady? Yes. 41-38 Patriots, unfortunately. Or I'll take the Cleveland Browns in an upset. They were great, weren't they, this year? They lost in a bye week. That's bad, right? Now, why wasn't I involved in all this money-making in Vegas? I live here. Jesus, Jay. Why? Why?
Carrot Top, funny guy. Must have been talking to you a little bit. Yeah, exactly what I was saying, you know? Rough season, even he's looking to get on the act.
Now, I'm not sure if he was referring to us, both of us, just being bad at picks or just your terrible year as a bookmaker.
Probably a little of both. I mean, we were horrendous in the early going.
We were as bad as possible.
Yes.
That's for sure. As
I
you
mean,
could possibly be.
if we were touts, we would be starving.
That's right.
for sure.
That's for sure. Well, Carrot Top, a little upset. Nice comment about the Browns that he had there. By
Yeah,
the way.
that's a little rough, but
Took
you know,
a shot at the Browns.
that's the
Carrot
kind of
Top.
team that I have to pull for all the time. Yeah, and they even lose on a bye week.
But that does bring us to, Jay, our picks for the big game. What everybody's been waiting for.
Absolutely.
So, we'll go with you. How would you bet this? If you were a bettor, how would you bet this game?
Well, historically, what I've always told people that in the big game, there's value in betting the under because it's always pumped up a little bit because the public likes to bet the over. So it's always a little manufactured, a little on the high side. So I always look to bet maybe a couple of the total props that where you get a little bit of plus money on the under. You know, maybe drop it 6 points and take some plus money. But you know, in this particular one, I'm going to look for a great game and hopefully. You know, like you said, we can get a 1 or 2 point victory by the Patriots, and
you're golden.
And I'll end on a high note and look forward to next year. It's like getting a birdie on number 18. Doesn't matter how bad you did on all
That's
the
right.
other holes, you're raring to go for that next round because you just got a birdie.
Well, I'm rooting against you for that. But I am along the lines of what I said earlier about the betting action. I'm going to bide my time. I'm going to wait for that Patriots money line. I think it's going to come down just a bit. And I'm just going to money line the Patriots. I know it's boring. I know it's not sexy. But that's the way to play this for me.
Well, you're not against me. You're
No,
with me. You
I'm
want
with
them
you.
to win.
Right.
You just don't care about the spread, which I respect that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's value.
Right.
That's why
Value.
That's why you beat the book, my
Value
son.
is value. Thank
Yes.
you, Jay.
Right.
Plus EV is plus EV.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't.
Should I explain EV? Since you always
Please.
Yeah, expected value. That's some term that he throws out there, you know, and he always is interpreting me, but it's my turn to interpret you. Expected value. That's a term that professional gamblers use, whether it's a good bet or not.
What that means is that while there's no guarantee that it'll come through for you on that one particular bet, but if you bet that theoretically over a long span, a large sample size, you will come out on top.
Spoken like an
Expected value.
MIT grad.
Well, kind of. Listen, Jay, this is not only the end of this Behind the Book, but this is the end of our football season.
I know.
It has been real, man.
It has been a lot of fun, a lot of fun. A lot of fun people with this production as well.
Should we thank people? Let's thank people.
Let's thank people.
All of them.
All of
Ernie,
them.
Natasha, on down the line. Now we're gonna
BJ.
now we're gonna
Yes,
forget
we're gonna
everybody.
leave a bunch of people
BJ,
out.
Chuck, Greg, James, Christina. Who did we forget? Charles.
Fantasy girls.
A big thank you to Kyle as well for all the wonderful graphics, all the stats that he's provided all season as well.
Yeah, fun facts with Gills.
And he was a referee, I think, at one point too.
Yeah, he was.
Looked
yeah,
awfully familiar.
A lot of fouls called on my picks at that particular time.
See, I have a fly
Yes.
going around. This is omen. I don't know if that's good. In the meantime, we hope to see you down here in Vegas, whether here at the lovely Mirage in Las Vegas or up and down the strip at MGM properties. Good luck with all your big game bets, whether on the game or the props themselves. As always, thank you for watching. For Jay Rude, Vice President, Race and Sports at MGM Resorts International, thank you, sir. Great season. I'm Gil Alexander. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with all of your big game bets this weekend.